We lost Anne. There she is.
I had to share this moment with you. I only get to wear this hat one weekend a year, and it is so ridiculous. I got one for Lizzie, and we both wore it, and she was so embarrassed, but I made her anyway. Isn't that ridiculous?
Oh, I love it. Oh my God.
You can see me coming a mile away with that, can't you?
I would almost have to wear that all November, and maybe even into the holidays.
No, I've got a good one for the holidays, so look out. Not as weird as that, but
That's a great hat.
isn't that too much? Yeah.
We should tell
The
people
things you
who
can
we are.
find on Etsy.
Okay.
Well, everybody, hello. I'm Ann Rossley here with Kyle Harvey. We sell real estate in downtown Chicago. We were not with you last week because we were preparing for our presentation. We went to see our buddies in Indianapolis, the FC Tucker Group, and we had a great conversation with them, didn't we?
We sure did, and they're a really good group of professionals. Smart, committed to learning and improving things. They've got really good listings. They're one of the big independents in Indianapolis. They're really fantastic. I was really impressed.
Yeah, no, it was great. And they hosted us. We gave a talk on selling luxury properties and some of the best practices and latest trends. And so we had a lot of fun with them, didn't we?
We sure did. We had a lot of fun on our drive down in my little shoebox of a car.
Kyle and I always have fun when we go on our cross-country adventures. We're, the real estate version of Thelma and Louise. So, anyway, folks, fresh off Thanksgiving weekend, it's December 1st. We've only got one more month left in 2025, and it has been a wild real estate market in Chicago this year. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. I mean, I've only been in the business 8 years now, and every year is like, oh, it's unprecedented. I'm like, it's always unprecedented in my time.
In your world, yeah. This
Wow.
world. So I'm going to jump into a quick thing on stats. Now, keep in mind, everybody, it's December 1st. I did these at 5 this morning, so it's not as thorough as typical. And also, because of the weird Thanksgiving holiday, I sense there are some transactions that have yet to be recorded. So I wouldn't say this is everything, but
it's close.
It's close. Right. Exactly. And you can say you heard it here first, right?
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. Let me remove our names so you see the whole deal. Okay. Like typical, we do houses first, and we do the lakefront communities. 73 homes closed in the month of November. Not the lowest we've had. 36 homes went under contract. Look at that.
Wow.
Insanely low. 106. Look at that graph.
It's unbelievable.
We had over 550 on the market in 2020 at one point, and now we're down to 106. We have 1.3 months worth of inventory on the market, and we are, not surprisingly, at an all-time high of $1,525,000. Last month, it was $1,515,000, and you can see that in 2020, it was between $1 million and $1.1 million. So
unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. In terms of sales year to date, we're up almost 3% over last year, which was up 12% over the year before. In terms of attached, which is condos, co-ops, townhomes, 546 closed. Again, in terms of number of closings, it's low, but this time of year.
Yeah, but considering how much demand there is out there, it just feels really low.
Yeah. 530 under contract. 1,438 for sale. I guess that looks like the lowest that we've had, right? In the last.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I just am shocked by the whole thing. 1.7 months. When have we ever had only 1.7 months of inventory with attached, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But I sense people in an all-time high of 470. Remember when we were just static at 400, and now we're at 470. I'm stunned by the numbers and just what's going on here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I mean, not up by a ton, but again, the fact that we have nothing for sale, the fact that we are up is a big deal.
Mhm.
Okay, and this copied weird, but okay, 6.23 is the Freddie Mac interest rate average. Pretty nice, steady interest rates. Here are a couple of KCM slides. Home turnover is at the lowest rate in decades. Home sales per thousand of homes on the market is what that refers to. And this is home price trends varying by local market. And there we are, number 2. Cleveland is year over year at 4.6. We're number 2 in the nation at 3.4% increase. Look at all the other markets that have declined year over year. Tampa, Florida, prices are down 6.4%. Miami down 5%. Dallas down
People in
4%.
those markets, don't be panicked because this is down year over year, but they've had such big run-ups. They're going to still have such incredible equity in their homes, most of these people. So it's not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. But
and number of price cuts. Interesting statistics. This is from October. It's the share of the listings with the price reduction. So in Illinois, for every 100 properties on the market, 17% took a price cut. Arizona, 26%. Oregon, 27%. Isn't that crazy? But again, to your point, this is 1 year.
It's 1 year. And also, interestingly, one of the phenomena that you and I deal with often is people think, well, it's such a hot market, I get to price my home way high. And so a price cut is like coming down to earth.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a hot market, but let's not be aspirational. Let's meet the market where it is if you really want to sell.
Right. Absolutely right. So you put together a couple slides for us for what's on our minds this week.
Can you pull it up? Only because I have.
Oh, yes, I forget. I pull it up and then you hit it. So everybody, something has happened also besides Thanksgiving since we saw you last, and that is we finally got our property taxes.
Oh, good Lord, yes. So on our minds, Anne has got some good information for you about exemptions, about property taxes, etc. We're going to then talk about the impact of the loop on commercial value. So the fact that buildings in the loop have drastically lost value has impacted how much the appraisal, or it's the appraisals of residential properties. Something has to make up the tax base. Right. And if it's not going to be commercial properties, it's going to be residential properties. So that's really impacting a lot of us. Homeowners associations are releasing their 2026 budgets, and then a crazy sale in Winnetka. So let's start with you and tax exemptions.
All right. So when property taxes came out, I said, and there was all the news, where property taxes are. I said to myself, check out my property tax. This is before I got the bill in the mail. Mm-hmm. Check out my client's property taxes. Check out my son's property taxes. And I was discovering that several weird things were happening. First of all, I had my homeowner's exemption, but when I checked it online, all of a sudden it said I didn't have it. And so I'm like, why did it fall off? I haven't moved. I've been in the same property for several years now. And one of the things and then I looked at my son's, he didn't have it. I looked at a client up the street, he didn't have it. And I'm like, what's going on? So I, texted Stephen and I said, did you buy a second home that I'm not aware of? Or did they take away your property tax exemption? So we went through it, but here's the thing I want to share. And let me just see if I can pull this up. I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Okay. So
I'm not sharing your screen yet on my screen.
Give me a second. I will.
Put my thing down. There we go. Share screen. Good.
Did that work? Okay. So I just wanted to share three different sites. Homeowners exemptions, as you know, if you live in your primary residence, you're entitled to a discount on your property taxes because you're a homeowner, as opposed to an investor who owns a property, has a tenant in there, they have to pay more property tax. Not by a ton, but $400 or $500 or so a year.
Meaningful.
But if you go to Cook County Assessor, Illinois.gov, this is what's up there right now. It says, at this time, we do not have a projected timeline for processing certificates of error. What's a certificate of error? This is what I want all of you to know. A certificate of error is what you file when you don't get your homeowner's exemption, but you're entitled to it. You can go back 3 years and claim 3 years worth of missed savings on your property taxes, but you have to file a certificate of error. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. But then when I went to here, it says, rest assured our team's working to process them, but right now you're not getting them. So let me go back and share a different screen with you. This is a little tricky. I'm not used to sharing. Share screen. Here's the first thing. Write this down, cookcountypropertyinfo.com. And if you don't have time to write it down now, don't worry, we'll put it in the comments. You can put your address in, and then you'll get your property ID number. And then what you get to do is you then go to the proper, I know this is crazy. I keep going back and forth. Bear with me. Okay. Then you go to the treasurer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to have to pull it up online here. Here's the treasurer's office.
Yep.
Okay. So it's so easy. You can remember Cook County treasurer. Treasurer's where you pay, the assessors who decides how much you pay. So you go to the treasurer and you say, okay, check my payment. And then you put in that little PIN number down there, and then it'll pop up and tell you whether or not you have paid and how much your bill is. And then there's one more thing. Whoa, that's not something I want to do. Here we go. Da, 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 da.
This is really easy, people. It seems hard when we're trying to show you how to do it, but it's really easy to do.
Okay, well, I'm just going to pick an address I know. Whoops. Can you see my screen?
I sure can.
Okay, I'm typing in 5447 Lakewood. Just a random property. Okay, and you can see the property ID number or the PIN number here. And here's the house. And this is what you want to look for.
Yes.
You can see 2024 taxes on this house are $47,000 plus, and they have one exemption. So they're getting their homeowner's exemption. If you were not getting your exemption, it would say 0 exemptions received. And you'd go, wait a minute, I live in my house. I deserve to get my exemption.
Exactly.
So then you go through the process when they let you do that. Okay. Did I say that right?
You sure did.
Did you follow me? I'm sorry. I kept going back and forth on the screens, but
No. When Ann and I set up the paperwork to start representing a seller, we go into the tax history. We go into the tax database, and we see what the taxes are, because we have to put that information in the paperwork. But we also see that people haven't applied for exemptions. I'm representing an estate right now, and the gentleman never got homeowners or seniors. So he was paying a lot of tax.
yeah.
And it wouldn't have been that much of a savings. It would have been a couple $1,000s, but it would have been a couple $1,000s. And
Right.
who doesn't love a couple $1,000s?
Exactly.
And so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. So the reason we don't tell you exactly how much it is they have this weird formula. And
Yep.
again, if you go to the assessor and the treasurer, you can see the formula. Excuse me. They basically take your property tax assessed value, then they take $10,000 off of that. And that's, so depending on your
Yeah, it doesn't make perfect sense, but it's money.
right. So anyway, folks, if you filed a certificate of error, oh, wait a minute. It says stop sharing to this tab. Okay, that should be clean now. All right. That's it. So that's my deal on property taxes.
No, but here's the thing. The reason why they're having a hard time. Normally, we get our second half bill on July 1. We got it
Due
on
August 1.
December 15th, and it's due December 15th.
Right.
Okay. And that's because of technology, software upgrade. They're blaming a software upgrade on the technology that they use. So if they had their number one priority was getting the bills out, the next thing they're going to focus on is fixing the technology with respect to the certificates of error. So, I mean, it's just going to take a while, but it's worth doing. You know, people will be like, "Oh, I'll never see." You'll see it.
Yeah.
Do it. Here's another thing. A lot of people. So let's say, if this were the case, and I'm selling my apartment, and my apartment for some reason did not have the homeowners exemption on it, but I lived here and I'm a homeowner and I should have a homeowners exemption. A number of buyers will make you go get the homeowners exemption as part of your, they'll sort of make that in the letter, the attorney letter, go get the homeowners exemption so I don't have to. And go get your homeowners exemption, people. Organize yourselves, go get it. You're entitled to this money. It makes your property more appealing because it really more reflects the amount of tax this buyer is going to have to pay. Go get it. Just go get it. Just file it. You can do it online. Just do
Right.
it.
Right. Okay. And if you have any questions, of course, reach out to us. Absolutely. All right. So what else is on our minds?
So go back to our.
Oh, let me pull it up. There you go.
Thank you. Bye. So let's go to the next one. So we've been talking about property taxes. So the Loop office, what do you call it? The building
space.
Loop. The fact is, because everyone's been working from home, and the Loop has had a very difficult time recovering from the downturn in usage. Everyone's getting out of their leases. They're downsizing what leases they do have. So it's really affected Loop commercial property values. And that has had a drag on real estate. This information is not from the press, though the press has picked it up. This is coming from the assessors. I got it off must be the treasurer's office. I got it off their website. So the city of Chicago, for homeowner median increases, are the median increase 16.7%. The suburbs even more. In particularly hardest hit were poor Black areas, West Garfield Park, North Lawndale, and Englewood. Look at how much their tax bills went up.
So this is not a change in assessed valuation. This is a change in the percent they had to pay.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it shocking?
Yeah. Well, I remember last year when I was doing some homework on property taxes. I don't know what we were talking about, but I dug into commercial, and Chicago and Illinois, it must be Chicago. Chicago commercial property taxes are the highest in the country in terms of what percent a commercial property owner pays as it relates to the value. So you can see what I don't see here, and I don't know how you get it, is what percent commercial property taxes are as a total of all the property taxes the county collects. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So therefore, if all these properties have lost value, and their taxes become less of the big part of the pie, you have to make it up somewhere. I think you and I both agree that the way this was assessed was unfair. So making up for that commercial wasn't handled well.
I'm going to give you an example. That property that I was telling you about, the gentleman, the estate that I'm representing, the gentleman, his taxes previously were $42,000.
Yeah.
This year they're $32,000.
What?
His taxes went down $10,000 with no exemptions. That's the difference in the value of that building. But it's shocking that they would drop taxes on that property and raise taxes like this
elsewhere. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I need to understand better the whole mechanism.
Well,
but these are. It just shocks me. It just shocks me. But anyway, there you go, people.
It's bizarre. Well, property taxes are about like the aldermanic maps. They're just as crazy. So,
yeah,
interesting stuff. All right, HOAs. This is a fun time of year for all of us condo owners.
Yes, and everyone ignores their homeowners association. That's HOA. I also sometimes refer to the HOA as the assessment itself, homeowners assessment. But today we're talking about the homeowners association budget. And almost every homeowners association is on a calendar year budget, as they should be, because it's that's just easy to do. And most associations in November, so they can pass it in December, will send out information on how they're going to budget. So that, and Illinois law, the Illinois Condominium Association, what's the name of the law? It's that. It's like that. There's a big law that governs condominium associations, which passed in the 1970s.
Right.
It requires a 25-day notice to homeowners, owners in the association before you can pass a budget, so that they can review it, complain, get in a swivet, second guess, all those important things, or help make the budget better. But almost every HOA, homeowners association's budget will grow this year. And if it doesn't grow, you should be concerned, because labor is more expensive. And for example, in my building, we've got the doormen who are on a union contract, and we have garage attendants who are on a union contract, and those go up. Those wages go up. So if
and you have your engineer and your
maintenance on a union contract, and those wages go up. So labor will go up pretty much every year, and so if they're doing nothing else, they've got to reflect the increase in labor.
Exactly.
Utilities have been going up. Associations try common area utilities. So remember, you've got to light your hallways. You've got to feed the boiler. You've got to do a whole bunch of things that you need utilities to pay for. And homeowners associations try and hedge by bulk buying utilities a year in advance, try to figure it out, try and game it so that they pay as little as possible, but they tend to go up year over year. Scavenger has been going up a lot. That is your garbage pickup. The amount
water,
it's really gone up. And then you've got to pay attention to the repairs and maintenance needs of your association. And then administrative expenses. Administrative expenses can be your for example, my building has retail space. You got to pay tax on the income from that retail space. So that's one of the things that goes into administrative expenses. But there are others. So we also operate a garage. We got to pay tax on the income, not just the parking fees, but the income for that. So those are things that will tend to go up year over year, and just pay attention. The more you know, the more confident you will be in the management of your homeowners association. And that is part of what makes you happy living where you live, because you understand what's going on.
Right. So, and this is the operating expense, folks. we talk a lot about special assessments and the reserves, and that's a whole different thing too. Most will put aside some amount in the operating budget to fund the reserves. So that's a different line item, and that can go up or down. I mean, if you have great reserves, then potentially less of your operating budget will go to reserves that year. But holy cow, things happen. And then we've talked about this, how the city of Chicago made all the buildings do exterior inspections. Well, it didn't make them do that. The city did the inspections and then required the buildings to make repairs so that parts of the building aren't falling down on pedestrians walking by. Good idea.
Yeah. Our
But
building had on an unanticipated repair need for
Right.
2025 because of that inspection.
exactly. And so if there was not enough in reserves, then that caused an increase. And we've seen many buildings, thankfully, make repairs to their exteriors that are necessary. And it can be, just making sure everything's attached properly. I know that one building I work in, they went through and made sure that all of the rusted bolts on the balconies were taken care of so that no balcony.
That would be bad.
Yeah, that would be bad. So
That would be bad.
anyway, so yes, expect your assessments to go up. That
And no
happens.
more. Just know about it. That's all.
But get involved.
Okay.
Let's talk about this new record. Do.
So 609 Sheridan Road. I've been in this house. And it is spectacular. It was purchased for, I think, about $8 million, the land. They tore down the house that was there and built this. It's on the lake. $34.5 million. It's about 11,000 square feet. An 80-car garage. It's beautiful, but wow! And it does include the agent says that it includes some of the furnishings, but they couldn't say how much, so they're not going to break out the furnishings.
Well, and you
It's not
know,
useful.
as our attorney of record, that legally, even if it comes with furnishings, those are added at no value,
Yes.
technically. But yeah. But it's really interesting because this really looks like a New York type or a California type price tag. And it's something we just don't see here in Chicago. So very interesting.
People. 4.5 million. And apparently there was another one that sort of now pissed off. It sold earlier in November for 31 million.
Its record was eclipsed.
I know. They had it for like a week and a half.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, pretty impressive. That's all I've got.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. So everybody, thank you for joining us today.
We'll see you. December's tough for
Why is December tough?
It's just tough for us doing these shows. So we may do one more before the end of the year.
We'll do one more for sure.
For sure.
And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, because holidays get crazy. But so let me just ask you one last thing.
Uh-oh.
Well, how do you advise your sellers on decorating their homes for the holidays? What do you say?
Keep it simple and tasteful if you have to do it.
If you have to do it, right. Just like homes that have been redecorated in the last year have added more color, added the splashier wallpaper, and we all get so tired of seeing white vanilla boxes listed for sale. I think, to your point, a little tasteful holiday decorating can be lovely.
It can be lovely.
It can be lovely.
But here's the thing.
It evokes emotion. It's like you and I talked about when we were in Indianapolis, right?
Yes.
Buying a home is emotional. So if you're able to see yourself in a home because of some holiday decorations, good.
But do remember that your buyer may not celebrate the holidays that you celebrate.
Well, that's true.
That's why I'm like, don't go whole hog.
Right.
And please don't light a candle, because you don't know if the person will be, and there are a lot of people who are very sensitive to smells. So please do not light a candle. You can bake cookies if you need to bake cookies to get rid of the cat smell, fine, but do not light a candle.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, do not light candles. I'm a big proponent of the odor neutralizers. You know, well, they're like the gels that absorb the odors.
Where are those? Oh, I gotta find those.
Oh yeah, Fresh Wave is the first one I ever
Right,
used.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh Wave is good.
Fresh Wave is good, and I use it a lot in my listings. And and I just found one on a reel that had something to do with, and I'm going to look it up and share it with you because it's a cheap one. It has cotton and vinegar and salt and something else to just kind of take away the smell. So
Yes.
I know vinegar doesn't sound like that would take away smell, but supposedly
But with the salt, there probably is something.
something to the salt. Yeah. So it's all about neutral is the point.
Neutral, people, neutral. Make
And
it.
even bleach, when you clean and bleach, that's not a good smell either. Do you like
Well,
it?
it is in a bathroom. In a bathroom, you're like, yes.
Yeah, it feels clean, but boy, it could be overwhelming.
Yeah. It also feels like it's been a crime scene and you cleaned it up. But
You're right. All right. So here we've talked about smells. We've talked about the important stuff. So folks, we will hopefully see you next week right here on Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann. Thanks for watching.